because yeah, you're gonna be back. All right, let's see now. Where are we going? I got my chat box. I got my live box. Waiting. Says we're live, and I'm going to assume we are live from Houston, Texas. It's the Ginger Crook. What day is it? Tuesday?
Ginger Crook?
It's the Ginger Crook Learn to Paint Tuesday. Ginger, I'll turn you on and me off. I am sorry, I turned off the wrong mic. You are now on, Ginger. Please proceed.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. Hey, I got a lot of buttons over here, lady. Back off.
You mean all this time we would just, people that could lip read were okay and everybody else had air like this?
For Bonnie in Germany. That's what we did.
For Bonnie and Take.
All right.
All right. Back again to Sammy.
Good.
Put a picture of Sammy up in the corner.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
All right, Sammy's got this new outfit on, you guys. Adorable new outfit. We're going to have cut some of this out when we do this video.
No,
yeah.
We won't cut nothing out.
And anyway, so I found this outfit on Amazon. Absolutely adorable. It's for people who have, they want to take a photograph of a newborn baby in these cute little outfits like peas in a pod and stuff like that. This was a hand crocheted outfit with the hat and the leggings. I thought it was so cute, and Sammy's getting ready for a Christmas surprise somehow, but we'll get to that, maybe next week or the week after, we don't know, but stay tuned. But I wanted you to appreciate that. That's hand crocheted, found it on Amazon. But this company had the most adorable little outfits all done for babies. If I knew anybody that was having a Christmas baby, I bet that little thing was only $6, all hand done.
$6 shipped.
Shipped, and it had little bows on it. John's hidden some of the bows. Each little legging has a bow. I mean, this is absolutely adorable. Anyway, I thought it was just awesome. So anyway, back to what we're painting today. Bye, Sammy. So back to what we're painting today. I like to find some of these old dead guys, these impressionist artists that were in the, what's the term, back in the day? Back in the day, this is what people did. Well, this particular artist, Maximilian Luce, painted these flowers. I'm going to just show you here like that. He's got a big form on the screen. He painted these in late 1800s. And I thought they were really pretty, I just really, really thought they were pretty. And I thought they didn't look too challenging to paint, but it was an unusual color scheme. As artists, we will tend to paint the same colors over and over again, whatever our color preferences are. I mean, you'll find yourself doing that, and the same thing, like, we wear certain colors, all of us, have outfits that we wear all the time. Well, your color palette happens to be a bit like that too. So sometimes when you explore paintings from another artist, particularly if you're a female, male artists often pick different colors than women. That's a thought to think about, isn't it? So that was sort of fun for me, was to see this sort of, he had this background here. If you would be so kind, John, as to, focus down on our table for a minute here.
Yeah,
this is.
As they say, the sound is out of your mouth. They're out of sync. So let me move things around. You're going to have to second, and we'll get that. I got you up in the corner. I'm down on the ground. Let me get you centered up here. Oh, shoot, that's not working. Where are we going? Down to the bottom here?
Yeah. I wanted to show you the original, photograph of the original. Now, there's some sort of wallpaper behind him, and I just sort of simplified some of this, right? This is this kind of and you can see I simplified a little bit, but it's very similar to what we've got here, you know. And what I really what I liked about this was the idea of this sort of gold green background, which I thought was so pretty. John, are you synchronizing something here?
Well, no, I don't know why your voice is out. It shouldn't be, but it is at the moment.
So I have no voice here?
No, you have voice. It's just not synced, but we're going to live with that. So, yeah, let them know we got new audio stuff coming.
We have brand new audio stuff coming, so we're working on it. That should be here by this weekend. Just every time you get one new piece of equipment, something else doesn't work. You know, all of this is to stop so we don't get hammered by buffering. All right. So we really spent some time upgrading. So, and if you're wondering who John Little is, he's the executive producer, the business partner, and part owner of GingerCookLive.gallery, our Academy of Fine Art, where we have a website with over 300 lessons growing monthly, where one monthly subscription price gets you access to all of those, plus personal art coaching, which is pretty neat. We call that the best of Ginger Cook, and it really is. So what we're going to be doing tonight is doing an 8x10 canvas, a very simple palette. You can see here we've got yellow oxide, cad yellow medium, dazzling purple, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, cad red medium, magenta, and white. And I'm also going to be using something called unbleached titanium. If you didn't have this, you could put a little, I don't know, brown or something and some white and a little yellow and make something like this. It's not that hard to make. But these, you know, I've had a tube of this for years. I don't use it very often, but sometimes it's sort of, you can see, this is white right here. Here's the tube of paint is white. Do you see these flowers are actually not white? Well, you see the outline. Here's the outline of the print. Okay, so these are not white flowers, they're off-white flowers, and they're closer to this, you know, buff titanium color, aren't they? Let me put that next to it, right there. Isn't that closer to that color with maybe a little tiny bit of white in it? So that's the color that we're using for that, but it's mixable. It's just sometimes it's easier to do that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to take an 8x10 canvas. I've dampened the back of this, and I've sprayed it, put a little heat, and hear my drum sound. Boom, buddy, boom, boom, buddy, boom, 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 boom. If your canvas doesn't make a drum sound, then dampen the back, hit it with a hairdryer, tighten it up, okay? We've lightly sanded this so that's a little smoother. Now we're going to just basically divide the canvas into two different colored underpaintings. I want to come up about 4 fingers here, just draw a line across like that, all right? And then about 2 fingers, I'm going to put the table in like that. Okay, so there. That's the table. So everything above here is going to be in these greens, and everything below here is going to be in the blues. We're going to take a silver, that's the name of the brush company, Silver, Bristol-On number 8 brush. But if you had just any kind of bright brush, a ruby satin silver brush would be fine too, number 8 brush. And I think we'll start with the greens first. All right, so we want a little yellow oxide up here like this. And right now I'm going to take a little yellow oxide, a little bit of yellow. Just do that. Just do a little bit of that. We're going to weave a pattern here of color. This is our underpainting, so we might as well just, you know, put some paint on and see how it goes, okay? Now I think I've got a little tiny bit of water in here. Is that clean water? Is it? I can't tell. The little one? I don't know if the little one's clean. No, that doesn't look clean. Let me just rinse that out real quick. Okay, you guys remember I got this in Haiti when I visited Andrew. My little stone little pot here. All right, tiny bit of water on the brush, not much, just on the tips. And I'm going to just do a thin coat of paint here, on here, down and across, and just weaving it. And as we're talking about this, I want to thank everybody who came last night and participated in our wild adventure with the abstract painting. And you just saw sort of a painting materialize before your eyes. People always ask about, you know, somebody wrote on Pinterest to me today. If you haven't friended me on Pinterest, it's ginger.cook.92. But anyway, and also I have a fan page, Ginger Cook fan page, which I have never fooled with because it's just one page too many. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting better. We're going to work on it. My goal in the next month is to get all of that better organized. But you can always find me on Ginger Cook 92. And you're going, well, why did you do that? And I did that because by the time Cinnamon got around to convincing me I needed to do Pinterest and Facebook, most of, most of those titles were gone. So we had to improvise. And on Pinterest, I'm Ginger Cook Live, all one word, okay? And, please, friend me on Facebook, like and friend on Facebook, Pinterest too. We'd appreciate that. And also, if you like these videos, subscribe and share. Did you know 50% of everybody that watches a video like this, we have statistics, we know, like Santa Claus, we know. All right, 50% of the people who watch this stuff don't subscribe. Listen, nobody puts you on a secret mailing list. Nobody pings your house. Nothing terrible happens to you. All that happens is that YouTube says, hey, people like this person. That's awesome. Maybe more people, and our video gets out. So, if someone says, oh gosh, they're doing this for free, they're doing all this stuff. What could I do that would be a kindness? Say, subscribe. I don't care, not my channel, anybody's channel you like. Subscribe. It doesn't hurt you. And it helps the artist, and it's a lovely thing to do. And also share the videos. They love it when you put stuff in playlists, and when you share on Pinterest, and when you share on Facebook. They keep track of these stuff. They're like Santa Claus elves. YouTube knows all. And you get, you get judged by that stuff. Do you remember those kids when, I don't know if probably still like that, when they're going to in high school and they're trying to get into a good college and getting straight A's isn't enough? They better have volunteered at the fire department or the hospital or somewhere and done 16,000 good works too. But getting straight A's, it used to be when I was a kid, getting straight A's pretty much get you anywhere. Not anymore. No, not anymore, boy. You've got to be, an Eagle Scout and the rest of it. Well, that's kind of YouTube. Just having you like a few videos doesn't cut it anymore, you guys. If you're not sharing these and subscribing and shouting these out to the rooftops and helping your artists that you love spread the word, then YouTube says, well, they don't care. Okay, just saying, not preaching, just saying,
Sounds like you're preaching to me.
Does it sound like I'm preaching to you? Well, a little bit, a little bit, but I'm just saying, right? Don't you love that? Where did that expression come from? That certainly wasn't around. If I had said that to my mother as a kid, I'm just saying, I would have been slapped. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, just try it again. Well, I'm just saying. Could you imagine that? She would just, oh, yeah. In fact, one of the things my mother used to do, which was really kind of fun. See, I'm just kind of painting the sides here. One of the things my mother used to do is that she was trying to break me of the habit of saying, So I'd say, well, we're going to do this, and then we're going to go up and do the skiing thing, and then Susan's coming over, and then so she'd sit there and she'd go, I'd say, and then she'd just quietly stand there and look at me while I was rattling on, and then she'd just keep doing this, with the fingers, and then until I got the hint that perhaps I shouldn't be doing that, but, What'd you do?
When somebody says, I go, no, I really don't know. I'd like to know more about it. Please tell me more.
You say that?
Uh-huh.
I've never heard you say that. You just don't.
You don't say you know.
I don't say that anymore, or you just don't care what I know?
They want to know where I am. I don't have a mic yet. I turn my mic off, otherwise we get an echo.
Okay, so John says that he just says, when someone says that, he just says, no, I don't know. I'd love for you to tell me more about it. And I'm just kidding him and going, yeah, well, you must not want to know what I have to say because you've never asked me. But that's not true. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of, I'm harassing him. All right. So seriously.
I'm microphoneless.
Okay, so this is my first layer, okay? So now let's do something else. Shall we a little bit bolder? Okay, so how do you make army green? Let's talk about that. We need an army green. So I want to make an army green, and I want it kind of blended in with this stuff. So what would be the best way to make an army green? Well, one way would be to take ultramarine blue and add a little bit of yellow to it, and that will make army green. Think of the Marine Corps and ultramarine blue being the color of the Atlantic Ocean, and think of camouflaging tanks and stuff like that. Now, black and yellow will make an army green too, kind of a duller one, but it'll make it. So let's take a little bit of yellow here and a little ultramarine blue. Now I've got an army green. Now I want it a little bit lighter than that. So if I add white, that kind of gets it too light. I could add a little more yellow. See how that goes? That's pretty bright. Tiny little bit of purple, like less than 1%, will dull it a little bit, okay? And so something about like that, maybe a little more yellow. So I'm just playing with the colors like that. And then I'm going to come in here like this, a little bit of water on my brush. And I'm going to come in here and just sort of add some of this streakiness. What was behind here was a little bit of wallpaper. Some sort of weird wallpaper he had. If you look at the actual picture, feel free to look this guy up. He did some beautiful floral arrangements. I really like this. But we're just giving the impression of these, right? So I'm going to take a little yellow oxide now, kind of overlap like that. Little yellow oxide here and there. And just little vertical strokes, just to kind of, you know, give the background a little, what would my mother would have said, oomph. A little oomph. Now, if you want to lighten a green, and you see what happens when we add a titanium white. If you add zinc white, let me show you what happens if you need to lighten something like that. Here's zinc white or mixing white. If you add that, it will not change. It's an interesting way to lighten a green without changing it too much. So here, I'll show you. Here's a little mixing white into this green. Now look, it's lightened it up. Do you see that? But it didn't turn it into that. All right, so let's put a little of that. Ooh, that's pretty. That little mixing white, that was just the thing to kind of lighten this green up in places. And we're just going to pull some of this color down in here like that. A little bit of water on the brush, just a little bit, kind of, you know, wake this up in here. Now this will all be flowers, so I don't really care that much about the middle, okay? So here it is, and some green coming up from the bottom. So we've got this sort of, let's see, it's a little bit of yellow and yellow oxide. And let's just layer this a little bit more like that. See what I'm doing? I'm kind of keeping it on the outside edges. And this is acrylic paint, so even though this is all wet, this is all going to kind of blend fun like that. There we go. Now we've got sort of an interesting background. So while that's drying, we will rinse the brush off. And are you remembering to touch the bottom of your water container when you rinse? Don't just swish it around, right? Touch the bottom of your water container. And then take a rag and wipe it off like that. And the reason we use rags instead of paper towels is because now you can see if there's anything left on it, it'll show up, and it's very absorbent, and you can wash and use them again. All right, so we know that we want this blue across the top here. So we're going to take a little bit of blue, ultramarine blue, and mixing white, and just come this way and put in our tablecloth like this. This is our first layer. And his was a little bumpy. His was not particularly straight, okay, just so you know. I thought I'd mention that. His was a kind of bumpy, not particularly straight. And we're going to put a little line down here like this. And anyway, we had a good time last night doing this abstract. And not only that,
you might want to show that abstract.
I'm going to show that abstract in just a second. While I dry this, I will show you the abstract. Well, I guess I can show it to you now. You know, here we go. All right, here's our abstract. You see, we painted. This was done with a palette knife. It was called, and this is what we call a representative.
Geez, you did that to me.
Representational. That's it. Representational. Abstract.
Or it's also called, what you started with, what was it you named?
Figurative. But people think when you say figurative, you mean people. Figurative means, if you look it up on Wikipedia, if you look it up with those guys, they'll give you the definition. And it's a figurative abstract is anything that defines a particular, you know, an object, person, place, or thing, like a noun or something, you know. Person, place, or thing, right? That kind of suggests that. Where then there's like design abstracts, which just are, you know, splashes of color, light and dark, okay? So now we're going to take a little bit of ultramarine blue and a little bit of magenta and come down here at this angle, and just we'll just come across here like that. And this is just our underpainting, and then I have to go ahead and dry it. So last night, besides showing you how to do that nifty abstract, we also announced the winner of our contest for reading the newsletter.
Where are you painting?
Here.
Yeah, could you at least keep it over the table somewhere?
Sure.
You can move your picture out. We don't need it.
Good.
We got the picture in picture.
All right. So, all right. I can do that. I can do that. Allow me to do that. I'm empowered to do that. I have brushes and stuff. I can move the canvas around. All right. So, all right. There's not much going on here. Now, let's take a little bit of white and phthalo blue, as long as we're fooling around here. And while it's still kind of wet on wet blending, let's just come in here like that, and maybe having something going this way. I mean, you have to do a bit more, but you get the idea. This will give us a feeling of the tablecloth, and then we'll put some decorative stuff later. All right. So, but there's our tablecloth and our background, and then we will go ahead and dry it with the hairdryer, and then we will draw on the flowers and everything, and we'll keep going. So let me move this out of the way. And John, would you be so kind as to, do you have the winners, and that John, can they hear you?
Did you ask for that at dinner time?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
We don't know who won. You don't have the little slips of paper in front of you because you were sending them emails? Thought they were sitting right there on your desk. The little slips of paper, they were...
3 of them.
Well, that's all we need. We have. Do you remember who won the painting? You guys who won?
That's the one that's missing.
That's the one that's missing. Wow. Well, if you want to know,
Wait a minute.
he's going to find it. I'm turning on the hairdryer. Okay.
No, you're not. No, you're not. One moment, please. Where's my microphone?
I give up. Where's your microphone? I don't know where anything is, John.
I'm turning you off.
All right, we've turned her off. You're still going to hear her, but, go ahead and talk. Let's see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Okay.
me
What do you think this is, Verizon?
now? I know it's not Verizon. We have better reception. All right.
Oh, nasty. Nasty.
All right.
Okay, I have got the winners from last night. Do I still sound far away? No, I shouldn't. I should be right in your ear very loud, as a matter of fact. Yeah, go ahead. Do what you want over there. I can't control you anymore. I've given up. All right, Tanya Staggs. Tanya Staggs was the winner of the Honduras painting, Honduras giveaway. And we also gave a month subscription out to a winner, Candace Kreider, C-R-I-D-E-R, Candace, either a month or 3 downloadable lessons. Then we gave away 2 weeks. No, John, yes, loud. John sounds I sound cranky? You sound, I still sound far off, really. iMac external microphone. All right, how about now? I just turned, no, now I'm very loud. You guys are driving me nuts. I'll turn myself back down. All right. I'm not going to turn you back on yet. Marilyn Ray won 2 weeks or 2 downloadables. And kind of like it's a tunnel but not echo. I'm very loud. It sounds rather rattly. Oh well. Well, like I said, we have new sounds coming off. A bit smudgy. You sound just a bit smudgy. I like that one. And Carol Lanfontaine won 1 week or 1 downloadable. It's like I'm in a tunnel. Well, good thing we have new mics coming shortly. All right, I'm going to turn me off.
Ginger, you're back.
Oh, good. It's good to know that. Hey, listen, I was going to show the picture people one, but I can't find it. Oh, we hit it. You want to? Can I just show that real quick, so they can see the one? This is really cool because the winning picture was actually a lesson we put up on YouTube called Honduras Getaway. So if you didn't win the picture, don't despair. Go paint it, right? But here was the winning picture, right, like that, and we are mailing that off to her as a signed original painting by Ginger Cook. So anyway, that's it. And that was all a little contest. We'll do another one for our next newsletter. Was just sort of encouragement to get people to read the newsletter.
Tanya's on there. She just heard it.
You just heard that?
No, I didn't tell her I haven't sent an email. Have her send me an email with her address.
Yeah, send us an email with your address, Tanya, so that we can send this to you. Because John hasn't sent you an email. We are so organized today. But
more so than normal.
More so than normal, but yeah, I don't know. We go to dinner, we come home, we set this up, and that's it, and then we're just out of time. But anyway, congratulations on winning this painting, and thank you for entering our contest and having the correct secret words, which were a octopus eating a watermelon, riding a motorcycle. It was octopus, motorcycle, watermelon. Those were the secret words for our contest, and anybody that got our newsletter could enter, and I think we had actually 285 entries out of the out of the 1,000 people that opened the newsletter. And it got read a bunch of times because there were we had a lot of wrong answers. I mean, you guys that answered correctly going, how did they get any wrong answers? We have no idea. But
We loved some of the answers you came up with.
we loved it. Some of them were our favorite was old dead guys. You hear me say that a lot, old dead guys. You know, like Monet and Renoir and Cezanne, those guys, the old dead guys, old dead artists. But apparently those were not the secret words, friends. So congratulations on winning this painting. So, and the other winners of the free downloadable lessons. Okay, so we've got, we're going to take, tonight we're going to do a couple of things. During drawing periods, we're going to play our art trivia. Everybody kind of likes that game. That's always fun to do. I roll a die, and John comes up with stuff, and you even know where that is anymore? Or is that somewhere else on the desk you can't find?
No, I can find my stuff.
Well, you know.
I just can't talk because I don't have a microphone.
He can't talk. Well, I will be.
I can shout it.
Oh, quiet. Pipe down back there. The peanut gallery. Pipe down in the peanut gallery. All right. So we're going to be doing that and other fun things. But in the meantime, let's, back at the ranch, let's just draw this vase on. We're going to start about 2 fingers up from the bottom, kind of here. Just put a little thing here. And how far is the vase? It's about 4 fingers tall. And it's got like a little curve, like a little beaker. Reminds me of a little beaker, like that. Think of the little parentheses, like that. Then you've got a little spout, like this. Comes up about like this. It's pretty easy, yes. And let's kind of try to center that in the middle. And then here you're going to have a little a handle like this. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the vase. And then how I figured out that I wanted to, there's this group of, it was a little confusing for me when I tried to decipher the pattern. When you're doing something like this, trying to decipher the pattern can be a bit tricky. We had about 3 flowers here, and then a couple. And then I had up in here, I had some sort of, yellow flowers here that sort of stair-stepped down like that. And then I had something kind of shooting off that way. So, I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So that's enough information to keep me entertained for a while. So,
Cheryl's got a question.
Yeah.
And if I yell it loud enough, they can hear it.
Yeah, sure.
Ginger, by law, are we able to sell paintings from dead that we do as long as we say which dead guy?
You can sell them and you don't even have to say which dead guy, because after 100 years there's no copyright. Feel free to paint away, kids. There's a lot of art before, it's 100 years old and back. So you don't have to, I don't care if Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci did it himself. You can paint it and sign it. You don't even have to credit anybody. How's that? Whoa. Whoa. Harsh words, madam. Harsh words. Okay, so here's my vase. I made it, I don't have as much room as he did, so I'm kind of centering mine a little bit. Because then also I kind of cut my, I don't know, my picture's smaller than his. See his is, see how this is wider? So really, my picture, that's why I don't think I put this in before, because this table could cut off too quick. We'll fix that. But anyway, never mind. Just sharing with you. All right, so we're going to take some cad red medium, a little tiny bit of purple, make it rust brown color, okay? And we're going to happily, I want to say happy here, happy people. We're going to happy paint this in. Now, let's take a little bit of red, put it in the middle. Cad red medium, it's a little bit redder in the middle. And, rather than draw, a lot of times I see people and they'll trace the outline. I never want to do that. I want to start in the middle and kind of spread out and see what happens. Because I'm not married to this chalk line. It's a suggestion. All right? So I will, I can always erase the chalk line. See? As long as I get my curved vase, then I'm happy.
Someone's asking, and I don't know what it was because it got repeated. Have you ever used oil bars?
Have I ever used oil bars? No, I have not used oil bars. I'm considered a master of acrylic painting, and that's what I focused on for years. A funny thing, I'll tell you what this came about. The genesis of this, back when my daughter Cinnamon was probably in grade school, I lived in San Diego. There were no art groups, that out in the country where we lived. We had horses and kind of out toward Encinitas, but Houston, or rather San Diego, had this giant watercolor society. And you know, acrylics is technically a water media, so I mean you could enter acrylics in those days in contests as a water media. Okay, a lot of kind of watercolor style artists used acrylics. All right, so I joined the Watercolor Society in San Diego so that I had, and some friends and I, we would go down to their meetings, and honestly, there'd be 500-600 people there in this auditorium, and it was owned by the electric company, and they'd bring in these really big name artists from around the country. There's enough of us paying dues where they could afford to bring in anybody, and they had these mirrors and stuff, and then they'd show the person painting, and once a month we'd get somebody, and generally what happened when they brought in an artist like that, they'd have a workshop later during the week, and you could sign up for those and pay the person, you know, it was $200-300 to take their workshop. It wasn't cheap. But so it was just fun, something fun, at least it was something fun to do, okay? And so we'd take about 35 minutes to get down to San Diego from where we lived, maybe 40 minutes, and we'd have to park, and it was a deal. And then we'd go, into the big city, right? And then we'd go to this thing. And I met this artist there, very nice, and I went and took her workshop, and she did beautiful watercolor, and she asked us all to bring in some of our paintings. And she said, "What on earth are you doing here in this watercolor class?" She says, "You're a master acrylic artist. You should be focusing on that." That was really good advice. Because even back then I was pretty good at this. She says, "That's what you need to focus on," and that's what I do focus on. Is, you know, I've gotten really good at this, you guys. All right, so no, I don't do a lot of other stuff. I have done, and I did her watercolor class and did all that stuff. But she strongly advised, you know, to do something else. And the reason I mentioned that too. Let's see. Let's take a little purple here. Put a little shadow on the vase here while it's still wet here, like that. Like that, maybe over here, a little bit of shadow. See how I've kind of ignored some of my chalk, because that'll just wipe right off. And I want a little bit darker here, just pure purple while this is still wet. A little bit of dark right there. A little bit of a dark right there. And I'm using a little angle brush. These are awesome. This is a little, let's see, what one is this? Put my glasses on. Oh, I have no glasses. Sammy has the glasses. I need them. I'm sorry, I have no glasses. I came upstairs. You know, I comb my hair, take the glasses off, and I forget to put them back on. But I did remember to comb my hair. That's something. All right. Yeah, I need the glasses. I don't know what this one is. What is this? Same size as this one. Maybe the print hasn't worn off of this one. This is a 3/8 inch angle brush. Thank you. 3/8 inch angle brush. All right. So now, while that's drying, okay, I think what we're going to do is take the little bit of phthalo blue and white and ultramarine blue, and I'm going to come this way and shorten this table up a bit so I have a little more room on my, see, just even need to give my vase a little more room. There we go. Better. Okay. Now, moving on. So clean your brush, really touch it and really clean it. Now I'm going to put in these gold flowers. So I'm going to take some white and a zinc white and yellow, okay? And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make this sort of little up and downward strokes here, almost like a fan, kind of in the direction of a fan, like that. And I'm going to say that they come around here like this. And now I'm going to take a little yellow oxide and come underneath that. Let's see, that's too much water. One of the things I tell everybody to do, and I didn't do it, was put a piece of paper towel underneath my little water container, so that when you take your brush out, you always want to tamp off the excess water like that. Now come back here like this, a little bit of yellow oxide here, get the base of these like that. Okay, and then we're going to kind of stagger this down like that with a little bit of yellow on top of that. Just tap it in there. They're really, this is very vague flower stuff, you guys. Okay, that's all I can tell you is it's very vague. Now a little bit of cad red medium and cad yellow, and a little bit more here. Here's a little bit of kind of an orange flower underneath it, like that. Okay, and there's a little orange flower here, something there. Just a little splash of color. Okay, that was easy. Now, as long as I'm doing it, let's take some orange. I'm in that color. Let's take some orange and let's put right here off the edge here. Let's put a couple little orange flowers right like that right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of white. Okay, titanium now, and I'm going to say I've got just making parentheses, all right? Little tiny parentheses that kind of are, maybe apostrophes would be a better word. I'm going to make these little swirling motions and suggest, here's another one. Here's another little flower here, tiny in the middle. Maybe a little bit of cad red in here like that. Come around here, and it's almost cad red medium and white is almost like a tangerine color. Okay, 1, 2, 3, it's a pure here. 1, little 2, get more paint, 3, because I'm going over white, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, this is really Impressionism in its happiest. All right, now come down here like this on top of this vase and kind of blend that in too, like this. See, lighten up. I'm lightening up this vase right here a little bit, and that's the first coat of until that dries. But I put that color there. Okay, so we can leave these guys alone. All right. So then what else can we put? We know we've got a color there. Let's come back here with a little orange on top of this, and maybe a little orange and yellow. Let's just come over here with that. The orange. When I say orange, cad red medium is an orange color. It's an orange red. It's got cadmium in it. It's definitely an orange red. Now, do I need this color anywhere else? Maybe right here on the vase. See, I'm sort of coming down here, starting to do a layer of this on the vase. Maybe down in here like this. There, okay? And then just something right there. All right, so now, I can't do any more with that. We're done with that. So rinse the brush. And John, I think this is... Can everybody hear me okay? Do we have any fabulous questions to answer while we're doing this amazingly crazy stuff?
No, I don't think so.
No, all right. So I'm coming up here. I think I want another little one up here. Another little flower. Take a little bit of the mixing white, a little bit of the yellow. Another little bit of a light flower up here too, okay? Now I'm going to rinse my brush. And I think probably the easiest thing to do now is to make some greens, and then we'll work around with these other flowers, okay? So let's take some phthalo blue, a little bit of purple, a little bit of cad yellow medium, and make a dark green color, okay? And maybe a little ultramarine blue too. Those are my two colors here. All right, that's a dark green. Now what do we know? Well, we know that we've got a lot of dark green in here that's going to kind of sit in here between these flowers like this, like kind of in here. Just we know we've got a little bit of something here. We've got a little tiny bit of green up in here, okay? And we can get away with this by staying away from the orange, right? Now, as we come up here, there's this sort of stem here, if you can imagine, right? We come up here, I know that I've got a little stem going up this way, and all I'm going to do to indicate it is just to make the leaves like that. And I want a little stem coming, I want some leaves coming off it this way. So I'm going to come down that way and then over the lip of this vase, and I'm going to just say, here's some these leaves, and using just the angle of the brush to make these. And let's see, what do we got going in here? Well, there's some leaves coming off of here, like that. Now, off of this way. It's all very vague. And then we've got something kind of coming down here like this. It's just kind of curving like that, see? And so now I'm going to just go off of that with my brush and indicate there's some little plant coming down like that. And let's do another one right here like this. And then again, we'll put some leaves off of it. All this dark green color. Okay. Now, and then up here, we've got something growing up here. Very interesting flower arrangement. Like that. We've got some little thing coming up like that. And then down over here, back by these flowers, we've got some little green ones coming here, like that. And then there is this plant that's coming down this way. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's a fern or something. I have no idea. It's not my flower arrangement, but just saying that it starts mostly up here with some green, and then sort of splays off into here, kind of a light color down here like that. Okay.
You don't know how big the original was of this, or how big you think this painting can go?
I don't know. I guess we could look it up.
Okay.
But I don't know at this time how big the painting was, or how big it was. But I know that, for instance, this is what we've got so far, right? And I know that's not real helpful, right? So we've got some green. We're gonna.
This is perfect, Jim. Yeah.
This is what we got so far, right? I'm just saying, it does take a long time to paint. It's kind of pretty, right? It's very pretty, right? I'm just even going to play with the original here, so even more than I did before. Now I'm going to take some blue and white, okay? Some phthalo blue and white, and a little bit of cad red medium with that, not much. And this is titanium white now. And yeah, let's try some magenta and tone that down. All right, there we go. A little more magenta. Oh, that's pretty. All right, so we're going to come up here with this sort of purpley gray color. And what we want to do is just come this way let's wipe off most of the brush like that. Come over here and kind of overlap these greens like that, like this. This is sort of this purpley gray color, and I'll put some, this is some zinc white now. And a little bit of orange to it. Let's make this gray. Got some sort of little light gray, maybe white here. We'll do it here. Little light gray here.
Is that red dry already down there at the bottom?
This red, no. No, not dry. Well, no, it's not dry.
I thought you could look at the acrylic, and if it's shiny, it's still wet.
Yeah, but I can't tell. Who knows?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take a little bit of white now. Come on top of these like this, and just add a little bit of white to these. See, just a little white because this is wet, right? Okay. And say that there's something going on here like that. And there was this pretty, very nice pretty right here, kind of this gray, very light.
Kathleen would like to know, can you explain what gives this arrangement balance?
Well, far be it from me to criticize the guy. You know, I'm just I'm just saying that it was interesting. I mean, you know, what's balanced? It's weighted down here by the, you know, this dark tablecloth, and then it comes up here. It's pretty balanced, actually. It really is. These are, you know, this actually, do a black and white of this, and you'll see what I mean. John, you want to give me a black and white of this picture, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Why not?
You know, give me a black and white of that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
The original was painted, size was 24 by 21.
Okay, so a little bigger than what I'm doing, right? Okay, so I'm going to...
1905.
Okay, right, still under copyright, and there's no copyright on it, so we're good to go, right?
I'm sure he's happy.
I'm sure he's happy. So I'm going to take a little bit of white and magenta, and a little bit of this blue color, a little more magenta, a little bit of white, and I want to come up here above this, like this. I think I need some mixing white with that. That's too dark here. There. I'm going to suggest there's a little, kind of, it's hard to tell if this was the wallpaper or if this was just some color up here like this. And we got a little bit of this color over here too, coming off of this stem, like that. And we've got this beautiful sort of purple flower coming over here. There's a beautiful kind of magenta purple flower that's coming in here.
We got some new people here. So,
hi.
JC Mercy is asking, is the light source coming from the front?
All right, well, let me just finish this flower, and then I can give you my undivided attention. All right, so there's that flower.
Yes, on that, how the shadows fall.
Yeah, there's a shadow, it's kind of coming from this way. The light's coming from this way, from the top left and down this way, and kind of, because there's a shadow right here. So it's kind of, the shadow is off, the biggest shadow is off here to the left. Okay, it's out to the right rather. The biggest shadow is off to the right. Okay, so we've got some purple flowers here, and we've...
Carolyn wants to know, won't the green and red grade each other if they're wet?
Yes, they sure will. That's why I'm putting it on for kind of thick.
I don't think they heard my question.
Will the green, Carol wants to know...
Yep, sure will. Fine, Kelly.
Cheryl wants to know if the green and the red will gray each other if they're wet. They will. That's just why I'm being very careful. You notice I didn't touch the green into the wet red. I kind of painted around it. And purple I can paint over with pretty easily, right? Purple I've got pretty easily, but I'm going to say here's a little bit of there. Thank you very much. All right, that's beautiful. Okay, so I'll show you that in a minute. Let me just continue on with some of these little purple flowers that are coming out this way, like that. And just something in here like this. And I want to say that here's a little bit. Now, before I can dry anything, you know, I mean, I have to dry some stuff, you guys, before I get too much further. I was just trying to get this far before I did, all right? Because, you know, obviously we've got to have some more yellow here and some greens and some flowers, and we've got more stuff going. But is this dry enough yet to come up here with the orange? Can we get a nice light orange vase here like this? Can we just, yeah, that's pretty good here, like that. Little cad red medium. There we go. This is a beautiful orange. I love this vase color, and this is it's still kind of tacky, but it's not too bad, like that.
And which magenta are you using now?
Just a regular magenta. It just also says it's a design magenta from.
Design, okay.
But it doesn't matter. Any old magenta really would work, okay? You know, any old magenta would work, okay? So this is a little bit of mixing white here on the vase, like that, for a little bit of highlights, like this. Okay, okay, okay. Now, while we're waiting for that to dry, let's take a little bit of this purple and add a little bit of purple color on here, like this. And let's see, what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, take a little ultramarine blue and purple. And let's just start putting in some shadows. Somebody asked about the shadows. We can start putting in some of those. They're going kind of off this way into our tablecloth like that. And I'm just looking at his now again. You know, this is the second time. And it's interesting because he's got one over here too, which I'm not sure why, but he's got one here. So who are we to argue? You know, we'll just let him do it. Whatever his deal is, we don't care. We're just painting his stuff in because it's sort of fun to do. It's like doing a puzzle. I love doing stuff like this because it really is like doing a puzzle. A little bit of cad red medium and purple make a nice dark brown. And come back up here with the shadow here, and there's a little shadow up here, right up here where that handle's going to go, like this. And here's let's make our vase a little wider right here, like that. Okay, the top of our vase a little wider. Now at this point, I'm just trying to do things that we can still do before we have to dry it. Does that make sense? That's all I'm trying to do. So the question came up, is it balanced? So let me show you this black and white version, and it's very balanced. Do you see that? Here's your light colors, like here. You've got a little light back here. You've got a little light here. You've got some nice, the darkest dark is right in here. See this section of dark, dark with a little bit of dark right here? It's a really well-balanced painting when you look at the black and white version of it. That's what really matters. And the rest of this, you know, is all, like this purple up here is all part of the wallpaper, which I will push back with mixing white and yellow when it dries. But yeah, this is an extremely well-balanced painting. So let's take a little bit of purple in here into the shadow too, and then come back this way. And maybe there's a little bit coming this way. And let's see, how about a little bit of white and blue, kind of this gray color. And here's this light color on this edge, right like that, of this tablecloth. I'm going to pull it this way and add some more little lights. Just bopping along here with this. Okay, so there's our tablecloth. Already the tablecloth looks better, doesn't it? We just needed a few little more colors on it. And then a little bit light right here, a little bit of mixing white, zinc white, right in here like this. And just sort of soften that and darken it right here. Darken it right there. So right in there it gets dark, but nothing else. Okay, so there we go. A few little streaks going down like that. All right, so next, what do we got? Drying. That's what we have to do next. While we're drying, let's play a trivia game. I'm going to roll the die. This is Stump the Artist, of those of you who have just joined us, okay?
Okay.
Number 4.
Oh, you gave 4 last night.
You want me to draw it again?
No, that's cheating.
How many hundreds of questions do you have that are 4s? Lots, don't you?
Yes.
He has hundreds of questions that are 4s. I don't know why he's complaining about 4. It's a good number. We like it.
Okay, I'm going to mute you. I'm going to try my microphone. I tried another microphone on me, so you're going to be gone. Say goodbye.
Bye.
All right, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm on a different microphone. She's going to do her thingy. And I have a question for you. Gustav, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me, but it's Gustav Kilmt, K-I-L-M-T, was of which nationality?
You know, I can even type this one. Well, I probably can't type it fast enough. So it's Gustav Kilmet, which was of which nationality? American, Austrian, or Russian? Can anybody hear me? Oh, somebody said yes. I don't know if they said yes to my question. Barely? Well, I think it's up as high as this one will go, I think. Yeah, it is. Again, we're just playing. We can't do anything until end of the week. We got new stuff coming. All right, so the question was Gustav, G-U-S-T-A-V, Kilmet, K-I-L-M-T, was of which nationality? American, Russian, or Austrian?
What was the question?
Gustav Kilmet was of which nationality? American, Austrian, or Russian? I'll have to turn you back on and me off.
Okay, so who was he anyway?
An artist, apparently, because these are art questions.
These are art questions. He was some old dead artist we've never heard of, but okay. I just want to know. Never heard of the guy, but so that can I take a wild guess? What have other people guessed, John?
LeBlanc is saying Austrian, Kathleen Austrian, Teresa Austrian, Joy Austrian, Dorothy is Russian. Dorothy's supposed to be in bad.
Dorothy says Russian. Dorothy says Russian. Who says Austrian? So we got some Austrians.
Russian, Linda's American.
Well, Linda thinks it's American. I'll tell you, it sounds like a very Austrian name to me. Doesn't sound like I'm going by just the sound of the name. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds very Austrian to me. Not, it doesn't sound Russian. No, just not to say he couldn't have married a Russian and popped over there. You know.
Julie says Kilmet was Russian, I do believe. Teresa says a dead artist.
He's a dead artist for sure. You know.
How do you know that? You don't even know who he is.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't, do I? I just assumed. I'm sorry, I don't know that he was a dead artist.
Okay, the correct answer is Austrian.
Ha ha, I told you it sounded Austrian. I told you it sounded
If you
Austrian.
guessed Austrian, you get 1,000 points tonight.
Oh wow, you guys are just killing it here. Okay, so we're going to keep moving on with our flowers. So we've dried the green a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of white and a little bit of red here. A little bit of red here. We're going to start with another flower. We need to make this one bigger. So we're going to come in here. This is a really big flower right here. We're going to make this one bigger. Okay. We're going to move this one over here too.
Oh, it is.
See? Like that. We're going to move that one over. And we're going to take some orange like this, some Cad Red Medium. Okay. And here's the outside of our vase, which is now dry. So we're going to add some, we're going to say that this is we want this a little bit redder. Okay, like that. And I'm going to go pure Cad Red here for a couple places. Red's one of those happy colors where if you do it a couple times, it really is effective. One of those colors that you can paint a couple times. All right, so the vase looks like we've popped the vase up a little bit, and let's do a little more coat of the Cad Red Medium on some of these here, like that second coat of this. We haven't put the white back, but we'll do that. Now, let's see, I don't know, there was a little flower up there. Now we've got to, remember I told you I dried that, because the purple really doesn't go there. It's really part of the wall, it's kind of part of the wallpaper, I think. So I'm going to take some of my zinc white and a nil yellow oxide, and I'm just going to kind of just glaze over that. A little bit too much here, like that. I'm going to glaze over that and maybe put a little green with this. Okay, like this. And we're going to just sort of suggest that color there, without having it there, like that.
Wendy's saying, tell Ginger he is the one that did the kiss painting. It was gold.
He did the kiss painting, Wendy said. It was gold. Oh, that's a gorgeous painting. This guy did?
Yeah.
Or Gustav did?
Yeah, Gustav.
Gustav, not this guy.
No, not this guy.
Okay, all right. I just thought that was kind of cool, right? And I want a little peach and white here, too. I did a little bit of that. I want a little peach and white up here, too. Just to suggest a little bit more mixing white with that. A little bit of, so I want some little peach colors coming up like this. Wipe off the excess paint. Put a little paint on your brush, wipe it all off, and then play in here, because we're kind of suggesting some of this wallpaper too, right? Like that. Okay, like that, something like this. Now, let's get into our white and say that we've got some white flowers coming out this way. And then we've got some right here too. kind of right next to this one, we got another little white flower coming up this way.
Died in 1918.
1918, interesting. Okay, now, remember I told you we were going to do some of this buff titanium. I'm just going to put it up here in the corner. A little bit of buff titanium, and I'm going to come up here and suggest that there's some little tiny flowers up here that are just sort of tapping in here, like that. This is a fun, I think this is a really kind of pretty painting. That's why I picked it. And I thought it didn't look too hard. It just looked like they had a lot of stuff. You know, he had a better garden than I've got for sure. You know, and so I'm going to come over here like this and suggest that there's a little group of flowers right in here like that. Another little group here. Doop, doop, 3, and they touch, okay? They're not like stars in a map or something, you know, like a star map, okay? So here's some little light buff titanium plants, and let's put a little of that buff titanium over some of these, and then over this one, and then maybe up like this. I'm playing with his too. Got some little ones coming up like this. There you go, like that. That's pretty. And now we know that what do we know? We know that there's some really nice light color right here. This is still in the buff titanium on this flower, and this is still a little wet. So you have to, if you're going to go over something wet one stroke, then you have to pick it up, kind of wipe your brush and go again if you don't dry it. And I know that there's some light right here, and that's blended a little bit more.
Ooh,
with some pink.
The release of this week?
The release, oh, the new release for this week?
Yeah, Nicole is asking for the release for this week.
Oh, the release for this week, you guys. And people are saying, what are we talking about with the release for this week? Well, if you're a member of gingercooklive.gallery, and our members, we talk about the best of Ginger Cook is that we have over 300 lessons adding to them every week, and they're exclusively acrylic from very basic beginning, step by step, all the back to basics, learn everything you ever needed to know about brush strokes and blending and everything, and up to some fairly complicated lessons. And this is the weekly release for this week. How cool is that? It's these lilacs in a vase with the open window. I think this is really pretty. Hope you guys enjoyed doing that. Now remember, if you can try us for a week for under $10, like $9.95, and just you could paint this and any of the others, and just try us for a week and see if you like it. When you're a monthly subscriber, you get personal art coaching, which is, and someone says, how does that work? And it really works pretty well. You send me your artwork, and I write, I'll look at it, and sometimes I'll put it into like a Photoshop painting program, and I'll make some changes on it and send it back to you and show you what I would have fixed, or I might write it or circle it or type something on it or give, helpful suggestions, never criticism, helpful suggestions. And it's maybe not every single thing you could do to fix the painting, but 2 or 3 major things, and and then you can send it back and say, what do you think? And I might keep going, I might not, depending on where you are. And we've sent out a survey to find a little bit about who our friends are that we're dealing, as far as age and who our customers are, our clients, our students. And here getting a little titanium white and a little cad red medium now, the little peach color here. Now let's see, more white, because that's wet here. See that? More white. There. Okay. Ooh, and it's one stroke and stop, you guys. I can't tell you that enough. This is coming up from the bottom like this, and then out from the top like that. It's getting pretty now, isn't it? Don't you think? And as long as we're, happily doing that, 1, 2 on the vase, right? And just 1, 2 and count and stop. And I think I want a little more white on that. 1, 2, right? Like that, and stop on the vase. I still have to do some stuff over here. And we got, oh yeah, we're moving right along with this, are we not? Let's go back to some of our gold colors, because he had quite a bit of gold colors right in here. So we're going to add some more of these flowers right in here as he came on down. Pretty much kind of, gold is the complement of purple. Yellow is the complement of purple. So we've got, let's make this flower a little bit smaller now. Say here's a gold one, right like that.
Ivy's asking a question.
Hi, Ivy.
Are the 3 buff flowers effective because they are in a triangular formation?
Are what effective?
Their design. be my guess.
Well, there's all kinds of pictures patterns. There's a triangular picture pattern. There's an S picture pattern. You know, when you're talking about a flower arrangements like this are portraits, all right? The best thing I can explain about this is they're portraits. And so what you're dealing with here with a portrait, imagine this vase, this handle came like that, right? When you're dealing with a portrait, it's almost pretty much straight on. Here's our handle like that. It's coming this way down, right? It's pretty much straight on, okay? That's what you're looking at. If that's the question that you're asking, which I think it is. I think that's the question that you're asking. Okay, and let's see, let's pull some more green, get some dark green going here, and say we've got some dark green blue leaves here, like this. Now I want to come back and sort of shave off some of these flowers like this, and define them by greenery. Putting a little greenery in here, kind of breaking up this mass a little bit, and saying here's some green, here's some flowers here, here's some here. And they're reshaping them. I'm reshaping them actually with the blue, the dark, blues. Okay. Did I answer that question, John? I'm not sure. I get concentrating on this and I forget what people asked, and I'm sorry if I do that.
I think you're pretty good.
All right, so I'm going to put some dark green, plants right there. It's looking nice though, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't take much to do it. Let's take a little bit of white, mixing white and greens like this. And a little more phthalo blue will give you that sort of gray blue color, particularly if you put a little magenta with it. A little bit of maybe titanium white. Now we've got this sort of little more phthalo in there. See, a little more phthalo. I want this sort of gray blue, okay? That's the color. It's kind of a blue-gray color. Now, some of these leaves are that color, like the ones that are coming up here like this with these flowers like this. And we've got a little bit of that color up in here. A little bit on these leaves like this. How about over here? Anything over here we could add? Maybe a little bit on this leaf right here. Let's just take it. We're not getting quite as detailed as he did, but I think that he had this kind of funny little leaf coming this way. A little more of this gray blue, kind of purpley color in here like that. So you see how it's coming together. Isn't it kind of coming? It's pulling together pretty fast once we get these colors in. Now, all flowers, there's not just, most flowers, this is a rule about it, there's a light and a dark side to them. So they're not just one color, and they generally touch. Well, the biggest problem I see when people are doing flowers is that they just dot them like they're stars on a map, okay? Or they make them in kind of blob shapes, like balloons that you've blown up, or something. So you want to get them, so you want the shapes a little bit raggedy. Okay, that's important. Let's just take a little bit of pink now on this right here on this one. And how about over here? A little bit of this is magenta and white here on this purple one here on the top part of this one right there on that flower. That's pretty. Now this one, these darker ones in here didn't have much. They were just pretty dark. It's hard to say because even back in as early as this man was painting around 1910, the problem artists ran into was the stability of the materials. Sometimes they'd paint a color and then, 6 years later that color was gone. All right? So you have to kind of think about that when you're painting something like this, because for one thing, if you're copying a painting out of a book, which is really, you're not going to sit, unless you've got a permission to sit at the Louvre, pretty much that's what you're going to be doing, is either off the internet or somewhere, but somebody took a photograph of that picture. Chances are the colors are not the colors in the picture, because the museums, every time someone takes a really good picture, it makes the painting less bright, and it takes away from the longevity of the painting, particularly oils. And so they're very reluctant. So a lot of times when you're meticulously trying to get some color, it's just somebody in Photoshop that was screwing around with the painting and you're matching their color, not necessarily the color that the artist did. So does that get you off the hook a little bit? Just kind of please yourself. Be inspired by this, don't be a slave to the to the execution of it. How's that? Well, that was a good speech, wasn't it? I like that. That was really profound, huh?
Like you're on your soapbox.
I was like a soapbox speech, yeah? I want a little bit of a kind of a peach color here, like that. And I want to put a little peach color right here on my vase. And then there was a little line around here. I don't know why there was a little line here, but he had one, so we'll put it like this, and then down like that. Little line on our stuff here. And a little bit of a line down here on the bottom. And then he had some flowers down in here. Did you guys see that? He had some flowers down in here. So let's, oh, I should put the green first. Let's just take some green. I'm out of yellow. So I'll put some out. Want to just thank everybody that has been participating in our live events recently. John, while I'm drawing this one more time, Nicole's here. Nicole East is here. She did a painting, and we had another one that came back from, this was our live event this was a Monet 3-color challenge on Saturday. Show everybody what those guys did. And the people just send me their artwork on Pinterest. And, you know, and or their Facebook, and I put it up on Pinterest if I can. And this was what we did from a Monet painting on Saturday. And of course, the video's up on YouTube. But show everybody what they did, and I'm going to dry this one more time.
Turn off the mic, boss. Okay, I'm going to show you what Nicole did. Nicole E. Let me turn off the mega cloud. She did that. That's from the Monet 3 Paint Challenge. We also had another one come in from a person called Cindy Yu, and that's hers. Both look very good. It's amazing what you can do with just those 3 colors. If you have not watched that lesson, I encourage you to do that. It shows what can be done with a very limited palette. It was 3 colors plus white, and these were the 2 people. This was Cindy Yu on that one, and that one is Nicole E. So thank you very much, ladies, for sharing those with us. Love to see what the folks are doing. Things will be done in a moment. If you haven't visited our website yet, gingercooklive.gallery, and we also are running an auction right now at gingercooklive.gallery/auction. You're back on.
I'm back on. Incidentally, on that, you saw this. You saw Nicole's, and did you see the other boat painting?
Yes.
All right. Now, did you know that that's the first painting that artist has ever tried? She's been watching my videos for several months, gone to a few painting parties. That was her first attempt at painting anything like, you know, like a real painting. She's been collecting the materials and the brushes and just studying the videos and watching. We have some wonderful videos on YouTube on how to paint, and she took full advantage of those, and that was her first painting. Aren't you impressed? I was. I thought that was really, really amazingly awesome, and I wanted to just, you know, mention that, which was kind of cool. And also our auction site. This is what it looks like. Some years ago, a Canadian puzzle company came to me and said, we'd like to take some of your artwork and turn it into puzzles, which they did and sold all over the world. And they gave me a few samples of each one, like 4 or 5 of each one. And I ended up giving them to friends and family and so forth. And I had a few left. And so I decided I would just keep one set and auction off the others. Because I don't, you know, there's a hoarder in me that says, oh, puzzles, I'll keep them all, I keep them all, you know. So anyway, that's what these are. They're out of print. You can't get them anymore. And there's some neat stories. There's stories on each one. If you look at them, follow the stories. I told you a little story about each one of those puzzles and what the genesis of them was. And you know, had a really good time. I was very excited about that. It was really funny. I so wanted my artwork on puzzles. You know, when it came to the negotiation of what they would pay me to do it, to put them on, I licensed those. What they didn't know was I would have done it for free because I wanted my artwork on puzzles so badly. This is why artists should never be their own. They just got to leave the room. This is why you have agents, because you give away the farm going, oh my God, they're going to do puzzles. I'm so excited. Will they give me some puzzles? Oh yeah, of course you can do puzzles. Let me tell you something. Those guys made millions of dollars off those puzzles. They sold all over the world, Target and Walmart. People really enjoyed them, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I'm a terrible negotiator. I think for the ones that were sold at Target and Walmart, I think I got $500 a piece for the licensing form for the 3 years. which is not terrible. I mean, the paintings were already sold. We could talk about art licensing another time. And then I got a percentage of sales from the others, which worked out pretty well until I tried to cash the money. Here, let's just cover up the chalk here.
You got some new people on. They're asking about your hairdryer. Did you paint your hairdryer?
Yes, I did paint my hairdryer, and not only that, but it's a starry night. I have a video on YouTube on how to paint your hairdryer. I tell you exactly how to paint this. And you wouldn't, of course, you could watch my video and you could paint anything on there. I found that my hairdryer was getting paint anyway, right? So I might as well paint it, okay? But thank you if you like it. I thought I painted 2 of them, had one in each studio, because it was sort of depressing to see all the paint on the stuff, and it looked messy. So I decided I would take full advantage of it. All right, so now we're just touching a few things up here as we go. I'm going to make a little dark line here on the video. So anyway, back to this puzzle thing I was saying. And when I saw them in a Target and Walmart, I was so excited. I mean, and understandably so. I'm sorry, that's a big deal. It was a big deal when they did that. At least it was to me. So let's see, there's a little shadow under these like this. Under this like that. Let's just do something like that for our vase where our handle is. And let's see if we can't lighten that up just a hair right here. Little bit lighter right here on this part of the handle like that, because it's prettier, isn't it? Little purple. Very interesting vase here. A little bit of purple on here like that. Now, can we do a little bit of dark purple here and do a little dark on the inside of this one? Like that, maybe. Something like that. And I'm going to, he doesn't have it, but I'm sorry, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to lighten up this a touch. Just some white and magenta on this purple. Just touch it. There, okay, sorry. I just needed a little bit light there. It was getting a little bit dark and gloomy. Now, we talked about these little white flowers here, and then before I got sort of sidetracked, I was going to, remember I said that flowers are like 2 colors, they're never just one. So let's take that buff titanium and add some titanium white to that, okay? And then I want to come up here like this and do the next layer on these flowers. So that's the buff was the darker color, and then this is the next lighter color. It's not quite white, but it's definitely up there, and tapping that on. Second layer, okay? A little bit lighter.
Yomigo is asking, how old are your hair dryers?
Old. I think one's like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
What you want on a hairdryer, and this is very important, what you want on a hairdryer is a cold button. I think I got this hairdryer at Costco for $15. With a cute, when it was on sale, I think they're only 20. And I liked it because you can do this, I think this will come off, but you can, kind of do that. But it has a cold button, and why you want that is that when you dry a painting with a hairdryer, sometimes when you touch it, because it's still a little tacky and you're not sure if it's dry, but if you then, after you've hit it with high heat, if you will blast it with cold air, all right, then what happens is that if it's still tacky, if it's still tacky after that, then your painting isn't dry. Good to know, right? So I think cold is really nice. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of, I want some light gray here, and I want to just kind of lighten these leaves up a little bit here like that. Another light little bit on the leaves. Right in here too, a little bit of light over these leaves. That's pretty. Do we have any greenery here? It's just something here on the leaves here. A little bit of light here. I'm not putting in all the stuff he had. I'll show you. He had a lot of junk in his wallpaper. All in here. I didn't put all that in. I thought this was a pretty nice painting before doing all of that. I mean, I really did. I think it's pretty nice. I mean, you could do a little bit of it if you wanted to, add a little bit of, dark green or something. Come back with a little bit, like right where there's some light colors, if you add a little dark green, that can be effective in a few places. But I didn't want to get too carried away with that. Here, just put separate those 2 flowers with some green maybe. Put a little brighter green right here. You can go back. It's like a puzzle. You can go back and, touch up for a while. Here's a little brighter green. That was a brighter green. Something came down here like that. Out here like this. And this really kind of went off the canvas right there. And it sort of, it curved a little more on this one than I did. This other one, it kind of curved out more like this. going to widen this branch out a little bit like that. There we go. Something like that. Oh, that's pretty. I like that better. And I'm happy with these little stem here. Okay. And we'll bring this down a little further. Oh yeah, dark green on here. It's coming back to me now. I'm remembering. Dark green down here. This is fun. All right. So anyway, I was excited to see the puzzles and have them. And I have my old email address on the puzzles because I was smart. I had them put it on there. I got full. One of the things that happened the first time I ever licensed anything to a publisher, I went through this contract. I had a very elaborate contract written up, and I was very proud of it too. I got to tell you, it took great thought, and I thought I'd done a terrific job on it. And then, what happened was that when it was Canadian Art Prints, and they were the first company to ever publish my artwork. Okay, and again, if you talk about over the moon, this was before puzzles, but I was so excited. Okay, I'm gonna lighten this tablecloth up a bit here. Just put a few little light dots in here like that. And so what happened was I didn't think to put in the contract that my signature should always show on the print. It didn't occur to me that they wouldn't be on there. Okay, so what happened was what print companies do, and because who they sell their prints to for the most part are art framing stores, and so they don't do it like 30 by 40 or 24 by 30, which would be the standard size that you would paint for any gallery, because they don't want you to be able to go out and happily frame this print. So they make it an odd size so that you have to get it framed at the frame store, which is why they carry those books of prints. Okay, so what they did was they cut my signature off when they made the prints. So I had all these published prints. Nobody in the planet has any idea who did them. I think at the very bottom of the print, after it's going to be gone after you frame it, they said, you know, a spirit divine, Ginger Cook. That was one of the first ones done. Esprit divine, Ginger Cook was one of the first prints I ever got done. But you know what? That doesn't do diddly squat for me. You know, I mean, they sold thousands and thousands of them, but the problem is nobody knew who did them, because once they were framed, they were gone. That was it. So after that, I got real smart, and I said, okay, so what I need to have happen in every contract here on in, folks, is if you're going to license my artwork, my name better be somewhere. If you have to copy and paste it again in Photoshop and put it back, but you better put my name back on there, okay? Now, there's nothing unreasonable about that. Do you think so? I mean, I think that was pretty fair, right? Lighten this up around here like that.
Sherry would like to know, have you ever done a mural? And if you've done a mural, what was the subject?
Done a lot of murals, Sherry. A lot of murals. If you go to my old website, Ginger Cook Live, gingercookstudios.com, it's not interactive because it was originally created in some sort of old computer program that's no longer supported. So I haven't been able to update the website, but you can go to the mural page, and I did a lot of wonderful murals in there. You can see some of them. Yeah, absolutely have done murals. Very, very pretty. One of my favorite ones was when my granddaughter, Honey, was born. We took the guest room, and we did the whole room, all four walls in Peter Rabbit.
We'll have to take pictures and show
We'll have to take pictures. It's really pretty. It's magical, you guys. It's just absolutely magical. All right, so that's the green where those, I guess that's some old dead flowers there. This is all left to interpretation. And then we're going to say here's some kind of that titanium, a little bit of white with a little bit of, I don't know, purple in it, right, like that. So let's just put a couple little flowers there, like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, stop, okay, because that's wet. Now, and we had a little red flower over here with some magenta, so cad red medium and magenta, and here's a little red flower with a little purple on it because it wasn't that bright. Too much. Let's back again here like that. Okay. And then there was something over here, a little bit more red, that came over here, some sort of little red flower that he put here, so it's kind of balanced it out. Then he's got this little yellow flower over here all by itself. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little of this bright yellow, and I want to come back here, and I want to kind of hit some lights on my yellow flowers a little bit here. Maybe over here there was this little yellow flower, and it's hard to say if this was yellow flower wallpaper. It all sort of starts to blend in after a while, doesn't it? But it is pretty what he had going here. And any other yellow stuff here? I think we're pretty good like that.
They have the picture in the picture, so they'll be correcting you as you.
Well, I mean, I'm going again off the original. All right, you guys, I'm going again off the original. I always try to go back off the original rather than whatever I did, because that makes sense, doesn't it? But here's here's a little bit of orange. I like that little bit of orange, right? Cad red medium. When I say orange, but cad red medium, like that little bit of red right in there, like that. I think that added a lot. And here like this. Now we need some more white here. Okay, more white right there. So let's just start with a clean brush. That way I don't have any paint on it. That makes sense, doesn't it? So we're going to say that there's a little bit of white right here. Okay. And there's a little bit of white right up here. Okay. A little tiny bit there. I think we're pretty good here. Right here there was a little bit of white right there on this one. Now, any white out here on the tips of these. Whoops. Well, that was unfortunate. Don't you love it? When this is why you dry. It's like save as, okay? Drying is save as. All right, we're going to put a little bit of white out here. Just a tiny bit. Not too much, just on the tips. And any other white here, there was a little white kind of creeping in here. And up here, there's a little white. And then more yellow. There was more yellow. There wasn't this flower wasn't that big. There was some more little yellow flowers up this way. And a little bit of orange like that. There, okay. I think we did pretty, let's see, it went down. Oh, what about these flowers right here? They were bigger. So let's try some. Now this is where cad red light would be handy to have. I don't happen to have any, I don't think. Cad red light would be really nice to have right there. I have Matisse red deep, which is probably similar. I need a brighter red here, so I'm going to put a little bit of red here. Now, there. So see, that's a little bit brighter red, right, like that. Because these flowers were pretty big. And then let's take a little bit of mixing white and see what's kind of mixing or zinc white. And there, let's just kind of, this is really scooped on here a lot. Okay, like that. All right, this is pretty. Here, how about some of this red on our vase? Oh, yeah, look at that, huh? Better? There we go. See how my vase is now picking up, friends. Okay, like that. There's our vase, which I like a lot. Let's put a little bit of that color up here like this into the top of it. And I think we're done, John. This is our picture. What do you think?
Well, Charlotte says there's some greenery on the right side of the top of the vase. Oh, I know what she's talking about. You have a lighter green on this one than you did on the painted one.
All right, let me see where I am. Yeah, maybe a light green right here. Maybe just a little bit of a light green here, right like that, couple. Just a couple little bits of that color. And I agree with you. I think it needed it. Absolutely needed it. A little bit, you know, sometimes you got to do your own ad-libbing.
And Charlotte's saying under the dark purple flower, some greenery on the original. Well, again, they're looking at yours.
Yeah, which is not totally the original, but here's some green. Here, we're just going to say right like that. And then here, a little bit here, like that, right there. Okay? Yeah, just a touch right here. Just a little bit of green here on this purple flower, right? And again, you could spend a little more time and add some more stuff. There was a little bit of a light green here like that too. And then some of this all just kind of goes into the wallpaper. Like my wallpaper is a little bit greener in this one. I spent a little more time, you know, fooling around with the wallpaper and even added a little bit of, I'll tell you, I even added a little bit of peach to it.
Did he have peach in his original?
Oh yeah, he did. He had so many colors in his, it was just crazy. And I just didn't want to, it just got so busy to me. He had flowers in the wallpaper and stuff, and I thought that competed. And he had something very dark. I'll put it in this one because it's sort of interesting. He had something very dark coming out from here, like this. Back behind here, like that. Sort of almost a shadow, it's almost a purple, white, you know, pink. I don't know what it is, but, you know, he had this almost purple pink shadow that came out from under here like that, too. And, kind of came this way and then came that way, and maybe it came from the other side of the vase, I don't know. Some of this had a little purple in it. When I look at that, there was a little pink and purple that came. Oh, that was this thing here. And this purple, this very light purple up here, very light again up there, and a little bit of purple in that one. And then again, there was just others, you know, there's like this was a little darker purple right there next to these. There was a little dark purple right there. So we could fool around with that a little bit, but we're pretty close, right?
Do a whole lesson on that background.
Yeah, you could just do the whole lesson on the background, but I think this is generally how you would tackle a piece like this and, you know, make it your own, kind of. Here's the,
Be a forger.
you know, I mean, yeah, we're not trying to do that, but you're getting the idea of what was that? There's a little bit of the greenery flowers. So I'm kind of happy with that. I think that's great fun. And you know, we appreciate, again, we'll say this again, if you're new and if you're new to my channel, we've got some of the most amazing videos on here. Great playlists, wonderful flower playlists. Last night we had a lot of fun with the, I told you we're not done with this yet. Okay, this was what we did last night with the palette knife, an abstract, our figurative abstract, which sort of indicates maybe some ocean. I'm going to do more to this and film it. We'll let you guys all see that. We're not done with that. If you're a member of gingercooklive.gallery, our weekly release on our member site are these, what are these flowers again? Lilacs, yeah, lilacs. And if you like lilacs, remember we've got that other one on our website that goes with that. Mary Cassette did that big, beautiful lilac painting we've got. A step-by-step tutorial on by Mary Cassette. She's one of the, she's an American, but she hung out with Monet and Renoir and those guys. And she's one of the few artists, female artists that people can remember. There were a lot of female artists, they just didn't get a lot of press, you know what I'm saying? Just saying, you know, but anyway. In fact, someone says, why do you sign your name Cook and not Ginger Cook? And one of the reasons I signed my name, I started this years ago, was I found that even today, male artists got a lot more respect. The minute someone saw it was a female artist, they were much more likely to be excited about it than if it was a male artist, okay? So not being too pleased about that, okay? And I see where I need to lighten something up here. So I'm telling you, I went ahead and signed it Cook. And I put and the reason I put the slash through my name is that in France, when you're leaving a town in France, unlike the United States, which just says, so you get a sign that says leaving Boston or leaving Houston or whatever. But in France, they just put a red slash through the word Paris or La Bastide or whatever, and that means you've left town. So in our case, what I do is I put a red slash through the name, and that means that I'm done with the painting. So that's the story of the red slash, though normally we have that somewhere on our website. We'd love to invite you guys to play. We had fun. Should we do one last art trivia game before we close, or we say goodnight and wait for next week?
Let's wait till next week so I have a microphone.
All right. So, John, we're upgrading everything. And incidentally, I'm going to be doing, we were not going to be doing, it's contrary to what it looks like. We are not doing live collabs every Saturday. But because Angela Anderson is going to be busy for the next weeks with birthdays and all kinds of stuff, I don't know if it's hers or what, we are, Cinnamon Cooney, my daughter, the art Sherpa, and myself, and Angela are doing some other crazy collab, something about Love Summer Art this Saturday, all right? So we're going to, Angela will be on at her normal time, which is around 2 o'clock, and then we will be following her whenever that is. Somewhere between 3 and 3:30, we will be following her Saturday with some new painting, which I have not designed yet, because they sprung this on me this afternoon, so I have no idea what we're doing. But we're going to do it and have fun, and I hope that some of you guys can put the word out, and we'll see some of you guys there. Otherwise, we'll see you next Monday, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for all the fish, you guys. Thank you.
Now, we have to get organized here. I'm going to turn you off.
He's trying to figure out how to turn everything off now. We have all
All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Remember, we hope to be on Saturday, and we'll have, hopefully, our microphones all sorted out. And Sammy's wishing you happy holidays, I guess. I'm not sure what he's up to, but I'm sure he'll let us know. He's been working with some other people. Good night, everyone. Oh, one more thing. On the auction site, you have to create a new user account on that site. It's a different site than our gallery site membership site. Just belly up to the bar, create a new user account, and make your bids. Good night, everyone.
Night.